Some people think we're a bit eccentric or something, we're dealing with native animals, but yeah, I do get called Portland Steve Irwin.
Gonna get the phone out. You like the phone, don't you? That looks pretty good, that one.
When the tourists come in, we do a few farm tours. Einstein loves to meet people. He enjoys his cuddles, and people get to sit down and get a selfie with the emu. Basically, I started this about 8 years ago. We started the raspberry farm, so we don't use any chemicals on our raspberries. A lot more hard work, but it pays off with the flavour in the berries. When the taste buds get that real fruit flavour and they're nearly in heaven. It's amazing to see. It makes the farm rewarding. That's when you get to really appreciate how good your fruit really is. So this is all my grandfather's variety of raspberries that we've put in. So this is the original traditional raspberry. Also have black currants, sylvan berries, Marion berries. Oh, we do grow all our own food. We have a couple of cows, so we get our meat from the cows. There's something we didn't realise with the emus is the emus eat all the grubs that eat me grass. So we have more grass for the cows, but the cows look like they've had a cut and polish. They just shine because there's no bugs irritating the cow's hide. Got chickens, so there's our eggs. We got our water from the rainwater tanks. We have solar power. We feed all the weeds to our pig, Boris the pig. Here he comes. Hey, what's up? He turns that into compost for us. That's how we get our soil to re-fertilise the raspberry beds. So we top them up with that each year. He's a very spoiled pig. I have some guinea pigs that do mowing the edges of my raspberries. So they mow and fertilise at the same time. Of course, I've got to clean their cages out, so that adds to the compost. The chickens add to the compost. The owls come in and the eagles come in and clean up those guinea pigs and keep the numbers very much at bay. So I'm keeping a lot of the local raptors and that well fed too. With the biodiversity, all the native birds come in, so the birds do my pest control on the raspberries, the blue wrens and all the little finches. So they eat all the grubs for us. The snakes get rid of rats. So we do get a few snakes in there. We have lots of frogs in the raspberries, so that attracts the snakes. So everything has its purpose to keep the farm going and a bit of biodiversity in the farms. That's how I grew up, was watching my grandfather grow his vegetables. He lived to 103, so I was pretty spoilt and got to learn a lot off my grandparents. They didn't use any chemicals. Working with the biodiversity actually works better for my farm.
Coming in.
They're just a fascinating bird. Everyone said you can't keep them as pets, and I thought, you've got to be able to keep them as pets. Well, we got Wanda, she's our female emu, and Einstein, he's number one. He's the favourite, so he loves all the attention Einstein does. He's a best pet. Einstein thinks I'm his dad, so because I hand raised him. Every morning when I feed him, he's got to get a cuddle. So he puts his head right over my shoulder and cuddles into me and gets a cuddle. Goose is another male emu we have.
Oh, he's such a dag, he is. Everyone's got a soft spot for Goose. These other two pick on him. Normally they'll chase him off and he's not allowed to get pats. So everyone has a soft spot for Goose.
Einstein would pick on Goose when he first came here. So Goose befriended our mob of cows. So wherever the cows go, Goose goes. We didn't realise at first, but yeah, once you raise the emu chick with certain livestock, they'll be part of that mob. Some people have got them to look after the sheep, of course, because the foxes won't go near the flock of sheep once you've got emus. Those emus are basically like a giant chicken. So they walk across the paddock eating about their body weight a day in grasshoppers and crickets. So a few years ago we had a locust plague come through, so I put 3 emus into one paddock, and I think we might have saved a few other farms because the emus ate all the locusts coming through the farm. They just cleaned them up. So we got twice as much grass for our cows. Oh, they do eat snakes. I have seen Einstein eat snakes a couple of times now, but yeah, I've seen the emus actually chase a fox through the paddock and kill it before it got to the fence. They stomp it. They're very efficient with that foot. Same with the snakes. They jump in the air and they stomp the snake's head and then they eat it. Their toenail on the foot is like a can opener. It could really cause damage if it wants, but the only time the emu will do that if you corner it and it has to get away. But other than that, they're just a very curious animal. We breed the emus each year. Some of the stories and pictures people send me of their emu chicks is just amazing. It's when Einstein's nesting and he's sitting on his eggs. He'll just sit there for about 65 days. He doesn't move, he doesn't drink or eat during that time. So we will take a bucket of water over to him and some feed, but he doesn't really need it. So he'll sit there the whole time with his eggs. All the women really like that. The male looking after the young, they think that's the way it should be. Yes.